tonight. I went to Disney today and I thoroughly roasted myself. So, we're gonna see if I can make a little bit of the redness disappear. Obviously, that's not going anywhere anytime soon, but we're gonna see what we can do. Okay, so I've already moisturized heavily. I desperately needed it. Justin, can you grab me a basket out of the bedroom, please? I need the plastic makeup bag on top of my stuff. So I am completely roasted. We did Disney and I spent time in the sun today, which I never do. I'm white as hell.
How could you forget a bag that says these are a few of my favorite things?
Well, they are a few of my favorite things, but I really just need one thing out of this. I'm digging. I need my beauty blender. Yes. So yes, it hurts, but not terribly bad. It's only in certain places, like here it's the worst, and yes, it looks horrible, but I've got some stuff that I'm going to be working on it with tonight to try and get that looking better. So, I figured I would test out the power of Juvia's new foundation tonight. It's full coverage. And this is some primer I have. You guys are kind of anti-MLM, but this is Young Living priming, mattifying primer. Their Savvy Mineral line is actually pretty good. It's comparable to Bare Minimals, about the same price too. So this mattifying powder actually has like lavender oil in it, which is really cool, and it helps with the inflammation on my face from my rosacea. So I'm totally happy with that. I'm gonna let it set in. I already put a lot of moisturizer on. I put my hyaluronic acid, just trying to get the heat off and get a little moisture onto the face. I'm gonna use a little Becca under eye primer. I know everybody's coming on to look at how bad my sunburn is. So, if you guys hear music in the background here, this is Above and Beyond, their live acoustic show. It's one of my favorite pieces of music. I absolutely love it. So, if you guys are interested in finding out what it is, go check it out. Above and Beyond acoustic. It's beautiful. Okay, so got my beauty blender. I'm gonna use it dry. That's how I like to use my blender. And we're gonna go in with a little bit of the Juvia's. Full coverage, guys. This is the color Isla. Feels like home on a good day.
Alexis, turn that here myself.
What you think about them apples? Oh, that was too much.
Alexa.
Well, I'm just going to be wasteful today, so I might as well go for the whole shebang. So let's blend this out. Blend. We're going to graduate to a brush here because this is getting a little bit too long. Oh, I thought I told you guys. It's the Juvia's place in Isla. So, for full coverage, guys, I think that's pretty darn good. A little splotchy here and there, but I think that's more my skin texture. They sell it at Ulta Beauty, but this you can get at Juvia's place. And like I said, full coverage. Oh Lord, wouldn't mean to do that. Apparently I had a big old gob of it on my clean that up a little. Okay, we're gonna put some finishing powder on this. Some setting powder. This is the HD Flawless Absolute Beauty. It's in Florida, so we're like 12 o'clock-ish. You can see a little bit of it coming through from my sunburn. I'm thinking that the setting powder will help get rid of that a little bit. Now, one of the things that I've seen that this foundation requires is a little bit of oil in the actual skin. The last time I used it with the Tarte Marjica oil, and it went on nicely. But if you have textured skin like I do, it might not lay down like you want it to. I don't have my little finishing thing to get rid of my baby hairs today, so it's going to look a little bit textured, but better. Okay, so I'm gonna carve out a little bit of a contour here. I've got my Hula Mini. I'm gonna use a Luxie brush. Just go in and grab a little. So as I was telling everybody, I went to Disney today. We live in Florida, so it's Walt Disney World. Got myself a massive sunburn walking around Disney MGM Studios. Got to see the new Toy Story Land. Got a little bit of a sneak peek at Star Wars Land, which looks kind of awesome from a distance.
Every song that we play tonight, of course, most of you will know all of those songs.
I also have a child who's autistic who had a meltdown in Disney, so we talked to them about things they need to improve for autistic children.
But I believe it or not, most of them started life as something very similar to what you just heard, more acoustic sounding things. And to give you a flavour of that, we're going to play something that we've just written. It's called Making Plans, and this is how it sounded when we wrote it.
Nice. Gonna take a short stubby brush, a little bit of an angle to the head. Just gonna blend that in a little. Okay, like that, looks better. Then I'm going to take, decided to do a whole face of Juvia's. This is going to be their Saharan Blush Volume 2. You can take a nice fluffy blush brush. This is an Aesthetica P12, and I'm going to go in with color B to begin with. These are very pigmented, so you don't need to use a lot.
Carried your torch to illuminate the darkness, and I still lose myself in that orange glowing moment when your upturned face.
Yeah, I've noticed that people who have one autistic kid, they tend to have two autistic kids. My son's showing autistic kind of spectrum stuff right now. He stims, he has, tactile issues, like he always wants blue tape. That's his big thing, is blue tape. So what I did was I took a little bit of the B and I went in on the deeper part of my cheek, right over, just above my my contour, and now I'm going right above that with the color Sola. This has a little bit of shine to it, which is what I like, and I'm kind of blending that out. I'm gonna come back in with my larger brush again, brush it off. Get right in there. And I'm gonna bring this up in my temples and just kind of blow it out, okay? That way, I still look like I got some sun, but I don't look like I'm toasted. All right, so I have a highlighter here. I got this off of Bad Habit, from Bad Habit. There is a color in here called Rose Quartz that is really pretty. I'm gonna get my NYX. This is the 90 brush, and we're just gonna brush that right. See, the light in here is kind of screwy. I'm sorry, guys. I always try to get as much light as possible, but sometimes it just doesn't look how I want it to. All right, now for the eyes. Eyes, eyes, eyes. is actually a 360 beauty brush. It's a little bit of a wider eyebrow brush, but I have more control, I feel, because it's a little shorter. I'm using Anastasia Dip Brow in the color Chocolate Caramel.
Going into this project, I would never really quite imagined how I'd feel right now.
I wasn't really expecting it to feel as good as it does. I mean, I said to somebody last night, this may be the best week of my life. I mean, it really is, for me, the culmination of so much, to be able to have built up the repertoire of songs that John Owen, Parlo, and myself and the others have written.
I think it's felt really rewarding.
What are the brands? Anastasia Beverly Hills for the Dip Brow in Caramel. I'm using mostly Juvia's. I use Juvia's Place Foundation in Isla, and if you had seen me when I started, my sunburn was horrible. And I look pretty darn good in comparison right now.
It's been great to get back on the instruments and actually play them.
There's so much talent.
That's my 2-year-old in the background.
You've got the strings and the
He's a little testy right now. A day at Disney can do that to you.
That to be a part of that musical force is just one of the most wonderful feelings I can ever imagine.
Go. Watch the movie, I'm gonna turn it off.
It just felt incredible.
Ooh!
I
messed up!
People in the room each night.
To be a small part of this big machine that's going out to see the reaction of people's faces is just incredible.
The atmosphere has been just amazing. I think the building, the crowd, the rest of the band, and hopefully the songs as well. It's just, it's made it incredible. We've had some sing-alongs which we didn't know what to expect. A lot of big DJ gigs, people sing along to the songs, but this is a seated venue, so we didn't expect people to stand up and sing at the end of the night. So yeah, it's been amazing. And given that this is such a small space and so few people, the response feels so immediate, and as we're playing these tracks, we can see, we look at people, we can see how it's gone down, and that's the scary, but the wonderful part of this.
And that's sort of what I hope to get out of it. I think for me, the experience of doing it and seeing firsthand the reaction to that material.
Looking for
it's been worthwhile.
Spoolie.
It's almost impossible to really say.
Okay, so the
band as a whole.
Blush
Whenever you do anything
was
like
the Juvia's Place Saharan Part 2. I used the Crystal Palace from Bad Habit for the highlight.
It's been so full on that we haven't really had the time to sit back and see what's happened. We've all learned so much from this, but I think everybody feels a little bit almost sad that it's time to stop doing it for now. I think everybody's feeling so that we'd really love to do it again.
All right. This is an aesthetic spoolie. It's a little bit longer, so you can get a little bit more action on the end if you'd like. Okay.
Lonnie, shut up!
A little bit higher up. Okay, that looks good.
The sooner we eat it? No, silly. The sooner we can go to the fair. Step 1. Measure the ingredients.
The rich. Right, Seth Whitey. You are coming to the office to learn the value of a hard day's work.
Here we go. Okay, so got the brows done, and I'm gonna use my P. Louise base for my eyes. just a little bit. This is the number 2. Let's see. This is Rumor number 2, P. Louise. Okay. This is going to be Alexi flat brush, the flat definer in 221. Just gonna come in here and clean that up a little. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be using a couple of different Juvia's palettes to get the eye color that I want. I wanted to go, since I was over at MGM and I missed one of my favorite things today. I missed the Ariel Stage Theater, which is always fun, and I also missed Frozen, which I really love to sing along. We just didn't have time. It was too hot too. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna use 3 palettes today. I'm gonna use the Festival palette by Juvia's. I'm going to use the Zulu, and I'm also going to use the Douce. Okay? I'm gonna start out here with the Douce,
Very scary.
and I'm gonna take a little bit of the Berry Mousse color here to kind of
There we go.
Right there.
plant a base on here. This is using a Morphe 441.
Begins on his first day of school. To us, he is the greatest detective of all time. But back then,
Okay.
he was just
All right. So that's this. Ooh, what the hell was that? Oh my goodness.
Probably a firework.
That was not.
That was not a firework, baby.
That was nature's fireworks.
Yeah, for real. Nature's fireworks for real. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this unnamed green color. Okay.
That hit the lake.
Yeah, that was close by. That was very, very
I mean,
close
there was
by.
a flash of light and then sound.
mother, as usual, was ridiculous.
We can do this.
Okay. See how bright that is?
Hello. My name is Charlotte Holmes. I'm looking forward to the best of each and every one.
That was the only strike too.
School was not easy for Sherlock. He was picked on constantly. They were relentless.
What kind of stupid dog?
It's rated PG-13. But still, you didn't.
As time passed, young Sherlock
Do you think
became
you deserve to stay up?
keeping mostly to
12
himself.
o'clock.
His spirits had dampened, but his heart was still alive.
Beautiful girl has captured my heart. Name?
Your mother comes out here and you
Yes.
want to go to bed.
I've overcome such true feelings and emotions. She was really beautiful.
Look, Charlotte, we feel bad. We've been awfully naughty with you.
Would you like to kiss Bridget over there? She wants to kiss you.
How about it, Charlotte?
She was
Justin the cat is terrified.
this morning. She's like a small loss.
Listen to this. This is in Next Door.
This is how
Large black bear seen running into the near back gate approximately 5 to 6 miles per hour. He gave me the finger before disappearing into the thick growth.
When was that? Tonight?
Yeah, just know.
we posted some by now.
No, God damn it, Kai!
Is that the same black bear that's been all over?
Probably.
Yeah, when we were gone last weekend, we had a
Go to
black
your
bear
room
in our yard.
now. To your room.
His would lock away all feelings. You would become a thinking machine, an unfeeling automaton.
Okay. That's done.
What's he doing? Are you crying?
Get rid of that. Okay. So I'm gonna come in the slightly darker color off of the Festival palette. This is the ABBA color, that one right there. Gonna take a Luxie tapered blending in 229.
Alexa, turn kitchen lights on.
You guys see that?
Oh, just enough.
Just you buy yourself a vinegar and sauce. But someday you're going to be doctor, really? It's elementary, my dear. What's your name? John Lewis. Sherlock Holmes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go in.
I am not liking the way that's blending.
Huh?
This color, it's a glitter, but it's not blending the way I want it to.
Teaching the young Sherlock Holmes. His mind was transformed from an unrefined hunk of gold to a razor sharp.
And it's also putting, you see that?
It's going to party. 40 years too. Magnesium sulfate.
Crap ton of fallout.
Glitter. Fulcrum is insufficient.
It's all dark too.
Let's listen.
Okay, I'm not a big fan of that color. Look at that, that made a mess. It really didn't make it any darker like I wanted it to. It just kind of changed the blue, made it a little bit more blue and added a shimmer. So I don't know what I really feel about that one. I'm not liking it too much.
Just try it once. I, Sherlock Holmes, have solved the case of Professor
Not liking that at all. Let me see if I can try a different color on this. I'm gonna go in with a different type of brush, the Morphe 505. This is one of my favorites. There's a black with a shimmer, Kaylee K. And I'll see if I can blend that in from the corners. It's got a slight blue tint to it with the glitter. So that looks like it's going on a little bit better. It's blending out a bit better in the corners.
Half that is evil and all that goes undetected in this great city. Today, you are charged with murder in the first degree, but all the witnesses have died. Without said witnesses, you have no choice but to set them free. Inspector Lestrade, you simply must take better care of your witnesses.
I'm not happy with this Festival palette. And I usually like most Juvia's goods. This is not making me happy. Alright, let's stop playing with this because it's just going to make me upset. Let's see. I'll get to the Douce palette. And I'm going to get in with that one. Need a short packing brush. Here we go. Alright, so I will use a Luxie 213 eye shading brush, and I'm going in with color Macaroons off the Douce.
Now, if you utterly Sherlock Holmes, in picture this.
Okay, and I'm gonna put this right in the middle.
You're full of brown, trace your lying lips. Not too well.
Yeah. That's the one. We should leave. Yes. Oh, aye.
You don't want to be late, Mr. Holmes.
Mrs. Hudson, what do you think of this one?
Me? Just a little slums. They like to meet him, they like to hear what to put on his noggin.
Good point. That's your monkey work, Hudson. May I show you a few more?
No.
What is there for me, box?
What are you going on about?
I never even heard any of them knocking. Did you hear anything?
See that? None of that was there before. That's so frustrating. Okay.
Very old.
I'm gonna take that same brush, the 213, and I'm gonna come back with another color in here called Tart. It is like an opalescent.
He needs to kill us.
Shut that window. If this winged menace escapes, may cause a pandemic.
Kill a mosquito.
The insect is infected with Oshkosh plague.
Do you see that?
One bite means death. Now, down to Dutch gin.
It's like got a purple glow back.
You know how fast me tries to make Dutch gin. But why?
Look at all this fallout. It's awful.
More flesh.
Brilliant.
How?
Okay. So I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna use a little bit shorter, tighter of a blender. That's another 441. I need something smaller. Okay, I'm gonna use this 433. I'm gonna get that berry mousse color that I started out with, and I'm just gonna blend these edges out again. We don't want them too strong. I'm gonna come back in with Crystal Palace, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that rose quartz I had before. Use a little pencil brush in the corner. This is a Morphe E18.
Making a satisfying bag. At which point, the prisoner will go free.
Angle of approach. Compensate for walking floor. Counter resistance due to dust modes. Probable outcome. Termination mosquito. Integrity of bee habitat maintained.
So let's clean up the other mess that got made with all this blue.
Mosquito's fangs. Well done.
So upset about that.
Geometry is about in physics.
Looked like somebody punched me in the face. Ah, what happened? How did that get black? It's always something with me. Yep. I need a new beauty blender. I look like I punched myself in the face. Give me a second. I was looking for my concealer, but it's in the bedroom, and I'm not gonna run all the way over there and get it. So this stuff is like concealer anyways, it's so thick. I'm gonna take the end of my beauty blender, and we're just gonna fix this problem. Justin, do you have his backpack anywhere?
It's in his room.
In his room.
He's sleeping.
Umpire for you. Master of Canaan. The great Sherlock Holmes.
Not gonna make a problem worse by continuing to poke at it. I would rather erase and start again.
Goodness, you've arrived, Mr. Holmes. Now, what startling new evidence do you have?
What mess. So
I recall the day
so disappointed in this palette.
crime scene alone. Completely and utterly alone. I meticulously inspected every nook and cranny of that study, hunting for clues, much like a panther stalks its prey.
Okay.
And as I stood there, I began to employ a groundbreaking new technique. There. Behold! Fingerprints! Imagine print taken from a finger.
How do these prove Moriarty's guilt?
Moriarty would never be betrayed of clues, which begs the question, why was this crime scene so uncharacteristically littered with fingerprints?
Good Lord, Watson.
Thank you. I just thought about you, Mike.
I compared these prints to those of the man standing before me. A perfect match. Unequivocal proof that this man is innocent.
What? If those are Moriarty's prints, then Moriarty's the murderer.
This man is not Moriarty. He's an imposter. His name is Jacob Musgrave, a complete lookalike, a doppelganger, a patsy framed to hang for Moriarty's crimes.
Okay.
So that I may abandon.
That looks a little bit better. Let's blend in a little bit of blush again so I look normal. And put my
This pattern complexion. Holds in his left hand.
Yes, of the most enthusiastic kind.
What an earnest. He pours his own tea.
He likes to create his own sauce.
He is a saucy man.
And the name of his restaurant is
Crotch Kitchen. On a daily basis, he creams his own clam. He is Romeo and Juliet.
That's good.
Yeah!
Jesus.
This
okay.
had nothing to do with
So
being executed. He was literally dying by his own hand.
we've got a couple different things here to play with.
infallible purpose has indeed spoken in light of his destiny. I order the release of the sun.
The first is a pair of lashes. This is Eyelure Luxe, and these are the
What is a jar?
gilded Mink Effect lashes. So, first things first is I'm going to give myself a little coat.
Melissa, you just went offline.
Went offline?
Yes.
It didn't show that I went offline.
You saw me. No, this stuff.
This is the Better Than Sex. And
The person who betrayed you is right here. Don't trust anyone.
okay. Alright. Going to use, this is a new one. This is the Ikea London. Ikea London. And this is the waterproof That's where I draw the line. I do liquid eyeliner if I can get it open.
Vincent Moriarty is the murderer.
This man is not Moriarty. He's an imposter. Too bad.
Whatever crimes Moriarty commits from now on are on your head.
I quite like seeing the straw upset.
I do too.
It took us 3 years to catch him. If we release him now, we may never find him again. Just see your ego and admit I am.
It's amazing what a little bit of eyeliner will do.
Whatever crimes Moriarty commits from now on
Here,
are on your head.
I've got another mirror down here that I'm going to use.
I quite like seeing the straw upset. Professor James Moriarty, thank you,
No, go to bed.
would never
Kyle.
darken in again.
They all said.
Just Moriarty was the Wexford upon which I sharpened my little blade.
With you gone, not there to challenge me, why go on?
Instead, I shall occupy my great mind with nutritional science. My research suggests that the selfless compounds of the common onion
Can increase your red blood cells, vital for human health. Try to find that way.
There's thunder everywhere.
definitely takes 4 or 5 nights.
It's just gonna get worse. It's coming this way. So we got the first lightning bolt.
The whole thing.
Let the goose slither down back with your step one. Congratulations, Holmes. You're not only the smartest man in London, you shall soon be the healthiest. Indeed. Now, where's my opium?
Opium.
Hunter! Watson is stuck a cannon up my butt! Hudson! Fire! Pull the fire! Hudson, your mother has died! You brain dead bag of bones! Hudson! Hudson! Where are you?
Did you not hear any of that?
We screamed fire!
You were screaming your name. You were just there in my bedroom.
Okay. So I have a basic line on, just something to put my lashes down onto, and I'm looking for my adhesive. Got my Kiss lash adhesive.
Hi.
Apparently the music's done, so we're listening to Young Einstein or Young Holmes, Sherlock Holmes, Young Sherlock Holmes. So I apologize if it's a little loud. And take these and kind of work them out a little. These are big lashes. I love it. Big and pretty.
Your Majesty, Sherlock Holmes and Dr. John Watson.
My God, it's really bad.
Okay.
Watson,
Caesar.
I love you. I know I am duty bound to serve you, but let me just say on a personal note, I really like you. Stop touching her as a fan.
Please, sir, don't touch the Queen.
Oh! Quite right. Sorry, I must say. You look a lot smaller in person. True. Stop talking. Stop talking. crazy about your look. What did I say? I still
Okay. So, along with that, I have some Stila. I have a liquid highlighter in Admiral, and I have the Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow in Perlina. What I thought I would do is just take a little bit of this and put it over the shadows I already had.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Just to give a little bit more of a pop.
72% chance I would have been surprised.
That is a lot of thunder.
That was really close. That was more, a lot more.
Okay, so anybody who's been watching me for a while knows I live my life in glitter, so I have to have more.
Really? You were 7 minutes late coming here.
These are about the same colors as what I've used already.
And the nose of a bloodhound. Your moustache betrayed a dust of the crumbs. Evidence of cake sampling. Guilty. And you purchased a case of pre-production champagne. You lack the self-esteem to buy yourself such an extravagant bottle. It's true. I don't deserve nice things. He's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow. And so stay all of us. That was the life.
All right. Ooh. Pretty.
The second layer is rather thick. There must be a few nuts in there.
Okay. And last but not least, these are probably glue dried enough. We can.
Raspberry jam. My weakness. I don't tell you. Back everywhere, I say. A murder in Buckingham Palace. A note. Your nose. Birthday present for you, Sherlock. Crime to challenge your wits. Stop me in 4 days' time, or I will destroy London's greatest marvel and kill the Queen, and I will rewrite history. Signed, Professor James Moriarty.
This is Jimmy Gruber, the witness who disappeared, whose testimony prompted Moriarty's arrest and who Moriarty swore to kill.
Conclusion.
Moriarty has killed again, as I predicted.
Ah, the most obvious conclusion. No, this is definitely the work of someone who's going to extraordinary lengths to make it appear as if Moriarty committed these crimes.
Sherlock Holmes, we charge you with the task of stopping this criminal before he can do us harm. Solve this case on behalf of your Queen and country.
I will.
Your Majesty, Sherlock Holmes has never failed us.
The bold ingenuity of this crime calls me back to professional detecting like a siren song. I won't let anyone hurt you. Watson, to the morgue. Let's try to clean this mess up now. The game is a started. Who is this copycat pretending to be Moriarty? Finally, I'm worthy of my brain.
This birthday cake is delicious. Did you get a chance to try it?
Okay, so this is a cotton candy liner in mint chip by Absolute.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather wait out here? The last time you were in the morgue, you was.
Stop constitution.
Yes, of course. I just thought after your last time, you were still. Really about stomaching through it. Yes, but the time before that, bad plans. And before that, I should go to the prostitute. Yeah. No, put back away. I'm not some vaporous, giggling, fainting maiden.
Just a little bit in the waterline.
Oh, yeah, little. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Feel a bit. Wait. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. If you start to feel sick, then I'll start to surely I must be down. Next to impossible to feel.
Just putting this on. Getting into the waterline's the hard part.
Some water? Did you say water? Sorry.
Shall we begin the autopsy?
Oh, thank goodness these cleaning women are here to clean up this dreadful mess. Someone's made sick.
Oh.
My dear Watson, these women are far too well dressed to be cleaning. They're here to identify their new husband's bodies. Sorry for your loss.
Thank you, but I am the doctor.
Look, Watson, grief has scrambled her brain. She thinks she's a doctor. Fortunately, this is a real doctor here. May I help you? Would you like some help?
Gonna go back into that festival palette that disappointed me and take a little bit of that ABBA.
Of Boston.
A woman doctor? What times we live in?
In America, we are much more progressive. I now make 30 cents for every dollar in Adams.
Does that still mean in America?
It means doctor.
You're Dr. G. Hart of Boston.
Yes.
Holmes, we're in the presence of a pioneer. Dr. Hart's work with the use of electroshock therapy to cure female hysteria is groundbreaking.
Well, yes, I prove the higher the voltage, the more demons are released.
Well, of course.
Some of my patients live as long as a week.
Doctor, spelled D-O-C-T-O-R.
Yes.
Okay. And
This is my aide, medicine. She's very shy, but a wonderful traveler.
Shall we proceed to the examination?
Please.
How can I wait? No.
Mr. Hobbs, you look rather unwell. Perhaps you would rather stay here and keep Millicent company.
Sherlock Holmes, charmed to meet you.
Millicent is the subject of my research. She was raised by Carol Cass. She has the mental capacity of a 4-year-old, but it is my belief that with sufficient electroshock therapy, she can achieve the intellect of a 6-year-old.
We are truly in the golden age of medicine. There's nothing left to learn.
No.
okay. Now I need some lipstick because I look all washed out like this. What do I have for lips? I didn't really think about that. I paused on it briefly. Okay, so I have some stuff I can use. Let's see. I'm clearing off my space so I have a place to get to actually get to my lipsticks. Don't need that. Oops. Alright, nothing in there. And, oh, I forgot. Okay, I can either take this up a really big notch, or I can take it up a little notch.
Not here. Not even in
Usually I do sparkle is better. This is already sparkly enough though, so I think I'm going to tone it down a little.
Anyway, let's go clean this cake-covered bastard, shall we? The wonders of modern medicine. Now, you're going to laugh. I found the most important tool in an autopsy.
Music.
Yes.
You too?
This one always gets me in the mood. So begins the dance.
Why are the Isley Brothers playing in the time of Sherlock Holmes, the Victorian era.
It's a knock on the Sherlock Holmes movie and a TV show.
There is something so sensual about forensic autopsy, isn't there?
What do you guys think? How'd I cover up my my sunburn? Think I did okay? This is all natural gray. I am growing it out.
Yeah, I think they got full coverage on that.
So, this is what it looked like to begin with. This is what it looks like after the foundation. I'd say that's pretty good coverage. And I do have a horrible sunburn underneath this.
And screw. Hello, Inspector Strong.
What do you guys think?
We've combed the manifests of every ship to set sail
Have a good night.
and found not a single